Heidi ho, my crafty friends. This is Lori at the Ladybug Journals. Welcome to my craft room today. Well, when I left you last, we had punched our holes in our signatures. Let me show you where we are here. So we've got our holes in our signatures ready for our book. And I had mentioned to you that I want to decorate my envelopes before I sew them into, before I sew the signatures and the envelopes into my journal. So what I'm going to do that is I'm going to put a paper clip here so I remember where they go. And because they're already punched for a specific spot in the journal. So to make sure that I don't lose my location here, let's see, it goes this way. I want to make sure I mark my location so it goes right here. And what I want to do is I want this to be a side tuck on both sides. So I'm going to glue down this top right here. Okay, I got to take the top off of my glue. And I'm going to glue this down before we get into anything else. And it is, once again, really, really warm in here because this glue is flowing like lava. Good heavens. So let's spread this out a little bit. And whatever we need to fill in, we can fill in. So let me get this underneath me here. Okay. Alrighty. Right there. So I want to cover this, and I'm not going to fill it or anything like that. I just wanted to get it covered, and then I'll fill it later. And I know I want it to be a side, so I'm going to go on and cut this. And if I have to cut it again after I get it covered, that's okay. So let me go on and cut this side. There we go. Put that in my little trash bag there. Okay, now I find the best way to cover these. Let me make sure the sides are open here. Okay, so right now it's just a great big tube. See, it's just a great big tube. So I find that the best way to cover these, and I know you're going to say, but you just cut that, is to take and wrap it around from this side to this side, and then this side to this side. And then what I can do is I can trim it. So what I also want to do is anything that goes over this fold, I'm going to fold it before I put it over it, okay? And I know I've already got my holes punched, so I'll take and I'll punch through it with my needle that I'm going to use. So I'll have the holes where I want them. So I want this green back here, and it's going over right here. So I'm going to go on and fold the envelope. And that just helps. That helps whenever the paper goes down. Okay, whenever I glue it down, that's going to help this paper. Now, I'm going to fold this over. And I'm covering up the spot that I did. Hold on here. I need to cover up an address, so hold on a second. Where did all of my things wander off to? Well, that is just a really good question. All right, so I'm going to put this here to cover up this address. And I know you can see mine. It's not that big a deal. I just didn't want you to see the other person's. Okay. There. Okay. Now over here on this end, make sure this stays tucked in tight. And I'm going to use glue stick for this. I'm not going to use wet glue. I'm going to put some of this, and you'll notice that this paper matches the inside of my envelope, which is why I'm using it. Okay. So I'm going to hold this where I have it. And this is just a quick cover up. It's not the final decoration or anything like that. It's just a quick cover up of the envelope. It's just much easier to do it this way than trying to do this. There we go. Okay. In your book, because once it's in your book, you don't get it all the way covered, and it's just a little harder to do. Okay. So we're going to get these covered up here. Okay. Now we're going to turn this around, and I'm going to glue this side. Now, once it's in my book and I decide, you know, what I want to put on top of it to complete the decoration, then I'll be able to do that. And I can take my knife before I sew it in, and I can just take a sliver off of the ends. All right, so this is not straight here. And glue stick is, well, you know what? I'm not even going to worry about it because it says I'm going to take a slit off. All right, let me bring this over here and trim that off. There we go. All right, once again, let me cover up this address here. Okay, so on this side, and I'm just using paper out of this paper pack. It's Bo Bunny, 36 pages of family heirlooms. It's just got some fun patterns in it. Let's see. I like this one. I think this one's kind of fun. Although I don't really, yeah, I think we're going to use this one. I think we're going to use that one. And or you know what? I changed my mind. I think we're going to use this big rose, and we're going to use this one. I think we're going to save that one to go with this on one of the other signatures. Okay. Okay. Now I think I want this piece to go, since it is directional, I want it to go in the right direction. But I want it in the middle. So I get it on both pieces. And since it's going in the middle, that means I have to fold it in half, doesn't it? So let's fold it in half. All right, so if we wanted to go right down the middle, that means we've got to fold the paper in half like this. We're going to give it a nice sharp crease. Okay. Now, before we do this, I'm going to take out our needle that I'm using to sew with, okay? Now, remember in the previous video, to sew in the signatures, I'm using a very large-eyed, blunt edge needle, okay? See how blunt the needle is? And the reason I'm poking this through with the same needle is because the eye, now watch what the paper does. The eye is really big. Now I want you to watch it again. Now you have to be really careful with this too, because the eye is a little bit bigger than the needle. So as you come through, it'll pull the paper a little bit, okay? So I'm going to line this up, and I want to line it up here, right here where I want it. Okay, put those over here out of the way. And you want to make sure that it tucks into the middle. And you want to make sure that it lays down. Okay. Okay. Now over here, I want to take these big roses. You know what? We're going to do this side first here. And we're going to, I want to cover up this side over here. Oops, I got glue on the back. Darn it. Okay, let's get a wipe here and get that wiped off, so we're not sticking. There we go. And let's wipe it off of here. Okay. All right, straighten up there. Okay. Let's get that off of there so we don't have glue on there. Okay. And then we'll get that trimmed off of here. There we go. All right, I'm going to put that right up there out of our way. That's not it. This must be it. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to put it right here. Be careful not to get it all over our mat this time. Okay. There we go. I hope you guys are having a super day today. Okay, and while I'm trimming down here, I'm just going to go on and take my end off. Okay, now we're going to go on and cut make sure our end is open. Let's see. Okay, our end is open here. Let's see if we need to, oh, we do right here. All right, there, come off of there. Let's see about this end. Nope, we got some glue we need to put down here though. I hope you guys are having a super day today and you've gotten to play with your papers and your journal, and if you're crafting along with me, creating a new journal that you've... There we go. Let's get that down. Okay, so I'm going to take my craft knife and I'm going to take my metal ruler and I'm going to lay it right here at the end. And I'm just going to take a sliver off. Trying to keep it straight here. See if I can line it up here on a line on my little mat. There we go. Let's do it this way. Okay. There we go. Now, let's see if we got through everything. Okay, here. Right here on the back. That's where we need to cut. Right there. Okay, so now we're open here and we're open here. Now, if you want, again, we're a tube. Again, you can line the inside if you choose. I'm not going to line it, but I am going to, I'm going to take this, and because it's a double-sided pocket, I'm going to punch right there. And because it's going to be on two different sides, I don't mind if it's, oh my gracious, I don't mind if it's not, you know, in the same place. Okay, now we poked our holes on this side. Now, I gotta find our needle. So hold on here. Let me find our big needle that we had. Oh, there it is. Something that you don't want to lose. And we're gonna poke it back through this side. Okay, and we're gonna poke it through this side. Right there. Okay, so this one is ready to go back in. Okay, so we can take this off. And this goes in. Oh, we need to fold it. Now we could wait. We could wait until all this is dried. There we go. And we need to line it up with the other holes. Right there. And this goes back in here. Line it up with the other holes. Just like that. So, put everything back together. Okay, so this piece and this piece and this piece need holes. So let's mark these now and punch our holes through. They must have been added, so let's go on and stick our needle through them. We could sew through them easily enough, I do believe, but we're going to go on and poke our needle through them. To make sure. I think I added these pages. Okay, so just like before, I'm going to take this and I'm going to punch through these other pages. There we go. Okay. Now let's line all these back up. There we go. Okay, remember this is going to get folded back up after we sew everything in. Now, if you choose to, you can go on and decorate any of your big pieces like that mixed media paper. You can go on and do that now. Okay. There we go. So let's put this on here. Okay, that one's ready to go. So let's go on and do number 3, and then we can sew it in. So again, we need to find our envelope. And for this one, I want it to be a top. Now this one has one punch in it. Let's see, where is it meeting here? It is meeting, it's only going to be connected in one. So I don't want, let's see, maybe I do want that. I'll keep that to add a little bit of stability, but I am going to glue this down. I'm going to glue this flap down. I'm not going to cut it off. I'm going to glue it down on the inside to add a little bit of stability to my envelope, like this. There we go. That'll just make it a little bit firmer. And since it's only going to be held in with one thread right here in the middle, I'm going to have to be really careful with what I do when I put it in, or what I add to it, rather, with what I add to it. So let's get our scraps over here. Okay, and this was the page I wanted to add to this one. Okay, and like before, this one is going to be similar but different. Because this one is only going to have the one, and it's going to be a top loader, okay, I'm going to load from the top up here. like that. I'm going to leave it just like it is, but I'm going to make sure that the back is cleaned off, just like this. Okay. Now, on the back of it, I want to get out our old book pages that we've been working with. Let me get hold of the book. There we go. And I want to take a book page here that's got a lot of text on it. Here, this one looks good. Okay, and let's see. Not quite long enough, but it'll do. Okay, so I don't want this at the top. So what I can do is I can fold this. I can fold this over. I can just fold it over. Let me show you a better way over here. I can fold this over the top. So I'm going to fold this right here all the way across. And then I'm going to tuck it in right here. Just, come on, cooperate with me. Just like that, okay? Just like that. And then I'm going to take out another piece and I'm going to do that over here. So, up here, I'm going to fold that in. Okay. And I don't want this, so I'm just going to tear it off. And that's okay if it's a little, you know, raggedy. That's okay. And I'm going to attach them together like this. And I'm going to tuck them in. Now, the reason I'm tucking them in is I want them to add some more stability to the top of the envelope. Okay? Just like this. Now, this one is going to stop right about here. But I don't want to get rid of it because I'm going to use it on the back side. Okay, so don't get rid of that. So this is going to get tucked and glued in right here. But before I tuck it in, I want to glue this page together. Right here. So let's glue this together. Now let's glue all the way across. And we're only gluing across the fold right now. See, I'm just gluing the folded area right here. And then I'm bringing it up to the fold and I'm tucking it in. All the way across, I'm tucking it in. Just like that. Well, come on, you silly thing. Yeah, you want your whole envelope to be covered. Like that. Okay? And I scooted this piece too, didn't I? Seems like every time I do one of these, I do that. It does okay till it gets sticky, and then all right, get in there. Get in there and behave yourself. There we go. Okay. There's that piece. Now we're going to glue it down to here. So we're going to take that piece down. And it's okay if it's crooked. It's not going to hurt anything. And we're going to glue this piece down. And the reason I'm using glue stick on this is it's old paper, and wet white glue just makes it even wetter. Okay, I'm getting glue all over my mat here. Okay. Then we're going to flip it over. We're going to cover. Now, down at the bottom, you're going to flip it up over the bottom. Okay? So it looks like this. Just like that. Just like that. Okay? So, on this side, go on and fold it. Now, over here, decorate any way you want. Now's your chance to decorate it any way you want, because the envelope has been covered. It's completely covered, and you can decorate it any way you want. I want to decorate it with this. So, I want to take this, and this page has some foreign language in it. It's got a lot of music in it. But I also want to add some of this blue. So I think this is the one I wanted. I want to take some of this. That's a little bit longer than I wanted. And I want to add it to this side over here. And this. And I'm going to ink this. Okay, so I'm just inking around it. I want it to stand out a little bit. Okay, so I'm taking my paper that I was using, and I'm going to lay it down here. And I'm just going to highlight some of my edges. Just to add just a little bit of a highlight here and there. Okay, now I want to ink this up too, because I want it to stand out a little bit on my page. Okay, and I also want it to look older. There, so yes, you saw me do that. You saw me scrunch it up. And I'm going to tear a couple of pieces off here and there. Okay, and where I tore, there. Now, I want to put that right in there, like that. Okay? Now, after I get it on there, if I want a little bit more, I'm just going to take it right over the top of it. And I think, see, there's a little bit of blue in there, kind of like a teal blue. I don't know if I have a teal blue, but I am going to look because I would really like that. Come here. Yeah, you're not teal. I thought I had one. You're too green. You're not teal. You're pink. I don't think I have a teal blue. You're too green. Come here. What are you? No, I don't have the teal color I'm looking for. Okay. I might have to look at some of my inks and see. But I like this teal color right here. See that teal color? That's the color I'm looking for. Okay. So on the other side, I'm going to take this one, this piece that I have left here, and I'm going to scrunch it up too. And I'm turning it upside down, and I'm tearing off some pieces. And I'm going to tear out another piece. Oh, look at there. I tore out a big piece, didn't I? There we go. And I want this piece. Oh, that's looking really good. Let's see, where's my fold? And I want this piece, because it's going to be on another page, I want this piece maybe to go right there. I'm not sure yet. I need to see how this is going to go. This piece is the teal, but it also has some pink. So with this, you see that's still up. And again, I'm going to scrunch it. I'm doing some scrunching, you guys. I'm doing some scrunching. Now, I can come back later on and I can stamp on this. I can put eyelets on it. I've got a little piece of lace I think I'm going to put on it. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got here. Now, I'm just using Vintage Photo on this. Whoops, I just dropped it. Okay, so over here, I think I want that piece. And I think in here, maybe. All right, let me get the piece I dropped here. Let me get a hold of it. Come here, you little devil. Oh, my gracious. Okay. You know, sometimes there are days when you just want to be dirty, isn't there? And there are other days when you just want to be neat and tidy. I think today is one of those days I just want to get dirty. Let's see. All right, I think I like that piece there. And I think I like that piece there. And that piece there. No, I think I like this piece like this. I don't know. I'm going to have to save that because I have an idea, but it's too early to tell. Where'd my glue go? All right, let's get these pieces down. And then we'll do the other side. And we'll get this signature sewed in. Shown in. Good heavens. And I'll show you how I do that. Okay, there's that. Now over here, we're going to do this one. Let's get this over here. Now, as I'm flipping through the journal and I come up on these, you know, I might get an idea and I might say, oh, I want to do this. Okay, this is too far over because that is, so that tells me this has to be moved. There we go. Let's see, where's our fold? You know, you get an idea on something and there you go. Just because of what you have done on your base, get an idea on something, and then before you know it, you've got your whole piece decorated. All right, now let's do something on the back. Now remember, this is going to go in the journal, and this is 2 separate areas. Excuse me. And then these are going to be 2 separate areas. Okay? So let's get that trimmed. Now back here, this is the back part of our pocket. So we can't cover this up. But what we can do is we can take our paper up so that it meets level at the top up there. Okay? So that's what I want to do. Excuse me. And it doesn't have to be the same paper as the front. Which is good because I don't want it to be the same paper. I want it to be okay, where's those polka dots? Here, I want it to be the polka dots. Look at those fun polka dots. And ooh, let's do this. Let's do the pink. Pink polka dots. I love pink and polka dots. Okay. All right, let's get this one done and then we'll get it sewed in. Now, before we can do that, we have to poke our hole all the way through. So we're going to take our needle and we're going to poke through that paper. Okay? That way we know where our signature goes in. Okay, so I think what I want to do with this is, oh, my boys are talking to us. All right, hold on a second. Let me see what they're up to. Okay, so let's see here. So I think what I want to do here, let's see. I think I want to do this side. Now, I think I want to do something similar to what we did before. I want to take this, fold it. Now, I'm going to take this all the way up to meet the top of this. Now, when you glue it down, you have to be careful not to glue this down, okay? So be careful that you don't glue that down. And I'm going to fold it this way. And we're going to put it right here in the middle. Let's make sure we've got it in the middle. Stick it over here in the middle. Okay, so I'm lining it up in the middle. All the way up to the top. All the way up there to the top. Just like that. And I'm making sure that it comes all the way down. Let me move that needle so I don't knock it on the floor. Okay. Just like that. And then we're going to put some, let me get another book page under there. Okay, see, it already started to glue up there. Okay. Yep, because I have glued many a pockets closed by putting it up there too high. All right, so let's lift this up here. Oh, I did it again, you guys. No, I didn't. I'm okay. I think I might have gotten a little bit up there. Let's get it off the top there. I'll tell you what we're going to do so I stop doing that. We are going to punch to remind me not to do that. There. That will remind me not to do that. And in a minute, we're going to ink up there. Ooh, that was bigger than I thought it was. But that'll be all right. Okay. Now let's glue over here. Okay. See, I look at that page and I really like this side of it. It gives me some ideas. Okay. All right, let's lay this down and let's do some inking up here. And let's go on and do over here. Okay, now let's get our pink on here. Silly goose. Okay, now for our pink, oh, I think I want that piece. I like that piece. For our pink, I want our pink to line up with that, but I want it to come over quite a bit. Okay, so our pink, I want it to line up with the brown. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to do the same on this side. I want it to line up. Okay. Now, as far as measurements go on the brown, I'm just measuring it about the width of this glue stick. That's all I'm doing. I'm just giving it a glue stick's width. And this little thing, it was just a top piece off of a piece of those papers, you know, that are attached to them. Oops. Okay. Now let's trim this. Okay, now we're going to take our needle. Okay, let's put the top on that. And we're going to run it through this side. And we're going to run it through this side right here. Okay, so we are ready to sew this signature in place. Okay, it goes right back in here. So it gets lined up right there. And it gets lined up right there. And, oops, we forgot to poke that hole. Well, we'll poke that hole as we're sewing this in. All right, let's get everybody back in place. Whoops. Let's decide where we want that. And we want that. We want that. That. We don't want this. And we want this. Okay. So now let's sew this signature in. Okay. This is signature number 3. So it's going to go back here. It's going to go in this hole right here. Right there. So we want 3 lengths of this. So you're going to measure 1, 2, 3. Now, if you want to leave, if your plan for your book is to put things like beads and baubles at the end, then you want to make it a little bit longer than that. Now, I won't be sewing the rest of these in yet because I'm going to put I'm going to be putting an eyelet up here. So that I can hang off my my beads from the top, but I want to show you how to sew this in. Okay, so you line this up, you open it up to the middle, you get it back to the back where it needs to be, you come into the center hole, out through the center hole, you pull out. Now you need to keep a tail. Okay, keep a tail. You come into the top. Keeping the tail is the hardest part for me because I always want to pull it through. And then you feed your pages through. There you go. And you want to make sure that you're in the correct hole back here. Okay, you want to make sure you haven't jumped over to another hole. Okay, now my tail is a little bit too long, I can already tell. Now it's too short. Okay, so now I need to make sure that this is lined up where it needs to be. Okay, so now you go down all from the top, you come all the way down to the bottom, and you do it all over again. Now we're going to go back through all the holes. And you're going to go out through the bottom. Okay. Out through the bottom. And then you come back in through your center hole. Now, if you have a sharp needle, if you're using, come on, I wiggled. If you're using a sharp needle, you want to make sure that you don't split your thread. There. Okay, come on through. There we go. Now, before you tie it, make sure your signature is where it needs to be. 1, 2, 3. Check it in the front. Make sure everybody's where it needs to be. And now you need to tighten it up. Still a little loose. Make sure everybody's lined up. Straighten them up. Okay. Now you want it snug like a guitar string. Okay. So snug, but not, hear it? But not so snug that it is tearing your paper. Left over right. Right over left. And then always do one more. Just in case I did something wrong. There you go. Now, I can fold this up. I can fold it over. And always leave these till the very end in case I mess something up. You fold your pages. And I always say, welcome home, boys. There you go. First signature's in. Come around front. Everybody's lined up. Now, I didn't fold this right, so I need to come back and I need to fold that in. There we go. That's what I did wrong. There. Now I'm folded right. There. 1, 2, 3. And now you're going to do the same ones. You're going to do the rest of them exactly the same way. You're going to go 3, 2, 1. Okay? All right. So I'm going to get the rest of them sewed in. I'm going to get the my remaining envelope covered. And then I'm going to get all 3 of my signatures sewed in after I put in my eyelet. And I'll show you what I do when I do that. And that's going to be for my spine jewelry. And I thank you all for joining me today here at Ladybug Journals. I hope you guys are having a good time and you're creating a journal along with me. And I hope we're going at a pace that suits you and that you guys are able to create with me. Oh, I wish we could share pictures because I'd love to see what you're creating. So if you guys had a good time on today's video, please like it, share it out to your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I am trying to reach 600 subscribers by the end of May. So I would appreciate you guys doing that for me. I'd appreciate it oh so very much. I never ever thought I would have as many subscribers as I do now, honestly. So you guys know where all those little buttons are. You know where the like button is. It's that little thumb down at the bottom. And you know where the share button is. It's right there in the same menu button, same row of the menu. And you know where the subscribe button is. It's right there. It says subscribe. So until I see you again in our next video, ta-ta for now.